Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2, season 8 of the Dos Leprechauns podcast. You got Leprechaun Nate, Leprechaun Jason coming at you live from Goodyear, Arizona, where it's a balmy 104 with wind and I guess like a tiny part of the hurricane, but I'm not sure. So hopefully everybody out in our former residents of California staying safe. I know the rain's starting to come, the winds are picking up, so stay safe out there. Yeah, Nate, 6 days away. Jerome Bettis days, Theo Riddick days, Clarence Lewis, Steve Berline. Who else am I forgetting? 6 days. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining us. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the matchup with Navy, but really we just kind of want to talk to you guys and see what's going on. So Patrick McCormick's live. Matthew Higginbotham's on here. Got a few more joining on. Hope you guys like the new format. Let us know what you think in the comments. This format allows us to go directly live to Facebook and YouTube. We're really trying to grow our YouTube audience. So check us out there too. We're going to have some videos throughout the season going on there. So talking about the Navy trip and game, we're really excited. We have quite a few people that are heading out there that are going to be so gracious to take some photos, some videos, possibly even some live videos from inside the stadium if that is able to happen. I know there's a lot of restrictions on that, which I understand, but we're going to do our best to kind of try to bring you guys some content from the actual site of the game in Ireland. So obviously we wish we were there, but that's just not happening this time. It's kind of funny story, not really funny. It's actually quite depressing, but I had money saved up for at least 2 years to go to the Notre Dame versus Navy game in Ireland back in 2020 before the old Rona decided to reveal its ugly self. So didn't get to go in 2020, not going this year, but one day we will go to Ireland. Donnie Cassell just said, go Irish, baby, let's go. I tweeted and posted this earlier, but Nate, I don't know about you, but I'm at the point now where it's literally all I can think about is this season, and it doesn't matter if we come into the season with zero expectations or the highest expectations possible. I'm always going to be excited for the first game and Notre Dame season to start.
Yeah, there's nothing like that first game of the season. It's just the hype, the anticipation. You can't really compare it to anything else.
No. Matthew Higginbotham said F COVID, but he spelled out the F, and I totally agree with you. I'm trying to not get banned on YouTube, so I'm not going to say how I feel about COVID. But yeah, COVID truly destroyed everything. But anyway, we're back. We're good. We're good to go. We're moving forward. Bill Foley, go Irish from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. A little echo on Nate's end, said Matt. Yeah, we're working. We're trying to get that worked out there. Michael Potter, what's up, fellas? Go Irish. Absolutely, baby. Is that a Browns Jim Brown? Is that a Jim Brown logo on your profile picture there, Michael? Because if so, that's really cool. One of the things I want to talk about before we talk a little bit about Navy is traditions. Notre Dame's got a lot of traditions, obviously, with game day and the history of the university and the history of the football program. But what are your programs? What are your traditions? What do you guys do before the game, during the game? What are the must-dos, like a couple days before? I'm going to let Nate kind of talk about one of ours. And then we'd love to hear in the comments section what your guys' pregame traditions are, or game day traditions, whatever that might be. Let us know. Nate, why don't you tell them what we do?
Well, of course, you guys started out on Friday with Rudy the night before the game. And then usually me and you wake up Saturday pretty early. We're not able to sleep in. So then we grab our husky, little Abby, get in the car, go to McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, and Dutch Bros out there in Arizona. And they also give Abby some stuff. Come back home, watch game day with Abby, and get ready for the game to start.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that we've done since Nate was a little guy is before the game taking kind of a game day photo in front of our Play Like a Champion Today sign. We'll continue to do that until forever. special to me because I think the first one we did, Nate was like 3 years old and was still rocking his Notre Dame gear. And we went out there and did the picture, and somebody was like, "Oh, that's so cool! You guys should do that more often." I'm like, okay. So now every single game, even the spring game, we do it. Let's see. Matthew Higginbotham from South Bend, live in Elkhart. Rick Radakovich said, "Hi, Jason and Nate. We are ND. Great to see both of you. Looking forward to seeing you at Ohio State game. Beat Navy. Absolutely. Go Irish, baby. I have a feeling this team is going to surprise a lot of people." That's from Todd Berkey. Thank you, Todd. Matthew Higginbotham, I wear Indy gear all season except for Sundays when I wear Dallas gear. I won't speak to the second part of that, but yeah, we try to wear green all the time too. I've got my Coach Freeman hat here. He's been wearing this one too. I got this last year at the bookstore while I was on campus. So rocking that. But yeah, we do it pretty big for pregame, and then of course we do the Go Irish to coincide with kickoff, and we also, unless we're playing one of the service academies, I have a little greeting that I do as if the TV can hear me. I stick up my middle finger and I flip off the team constantly that we're playing. It's just something stupid I've been doing since I was like 9. Great parenting. But yeah, obviously with the service academy, it's not happening. Tom Lawyer Sr. said, "I wear Notre Dame gear 7 days a week." Attaboy. Yeah, this week I'm going to be at a conference for work, and so I'm not going to be able to be as green as I'd like to be. However, I am literally wearing something Notre Dame related that people will be able to see every day, and hopefully I don't get in trouble. But you know what? It's worth it. Higginbotham also said, "Start trending the hashtag Dame Day." Ooh, I like that. Nate, can you put that in the comments? Hashtag Dame Day. I like that.
Yeah.
Tim Fox said, "Can't wait for you two to be back in the bin. My Freeman Hawaiian shirt is going to be on ESPN." Heck yeah, Tim. Your shirts are legendary, bro. I can't wait to see it. Matthew Russ said, "Hey guys, how you doing, Matt?" So again, as we start talking about Navy here, drop down in the comments what your game day traditions are, pre-game, day before the game, whatever you guys kind of do that you've done with your family. We'd love to hear those kind of stories. But Nate, we talked a little bit earlier today, you and I did, about the Navy team this year, and obviously this year it's going to look a lot different in terms of the coaching staff. This is the first year, and gosh, I don't know exactly how long Ken Niumatolo was there. I probably said that wrong. Sorry, Coach. But he was there for a long time. Probably the most successful overall Navy coach, maybe of all time. He had a lot of success actually against the Irish. I think he won 2 or 3 games against us. So it's kind of, it's bittersweet because I respect the guy, but I'm obviously not going to lose any sleep that he's not there anymore. But Navy's still going to be tough. They're always going to play hard. They did a smart thing when the coach left, and they kept it internal. Coach Brian Newberry now is their coach, who's the former offensive coordinator there. Defensive coordinator. I'm sorry. So yeah, you're not going to see a whole lot of different schemes or looks. They're going to come at you. They're going to run the triple option. Obviously, everybody knows that. They had some big wins last year, but they also had a disappointing overall record at 4-8, 4-4 in the ACA conference. And it was a tough go the last few years. But as you guys saw last year, if it hadn't been from that catch from Braden Lindsay, we might have been talking about a lot of different history here because we kind of let that game go for a little bit there. Nate, thoughts on that?
I mean, not good thoughts. It shouldn't have been that close. We were dominating that whole game until the second half. But it is what it is. We pulled it out.
Absolutely. By the way, somebody just asked what time is kickoff. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So that'll be 11:30 a.m. Pacific. So 2:30 Eastern. Let's see. I always pray we get out of the Navy game healthy and to win, from Sean Hagan. Exactly. That triple option can be deadly for the defensive linemen, linebackers. So, I'm hoping. I know that they've been prepping for this game as of about a week and a half ago. So it's going to be interesting. Patrick McCormick said Navy defense won't be able to run with their athletes this year, especially with Hartman delivering the ball. Yeah, I think they're going to have a tough time. I think that, defensively, I'm just really hoping we can shut them down. That triple option really is different. But defensively, they're going to have a really tough time holding our ridiculous running backs in check. holding Hartman in check. We've got so many receivers this year that can really catch the ball and make plays after the catch. So I hope this is they take it seriously, and I would love for us to be able to see Steve Angeli and some of the other backups in the game by the third quarter. Irish score at least 44. That's from Pat McCormick. This game should be an absolute blowout. If we don't win by 30, something is definitely wrong with the mindset of the team. That's from Chris Conover, who is also going to be at the Ohio State game and is also a resident of the Valley here in Arizona. I like where your head's at, says Sean Hagan. Exactly. Let's see. So their quarterback, he got hurt early last year, so we didn't see him. Ty Leprechauns. He's another guy that has a great control of the offense, the triple option offense. Xavier Airline, who was their quarterback last year that we saw, you'll probably see him a little bit here and there. But I don't know. We'll see. Tedros Gleaton is another guy that they have back there at quarterback. And then Blake Horvath, who's probably their most gifted running quarterback. It'll be interesting to see if they use all three or stick with one guy, or who knows. Excuse me. They got a veteran veteran receiver coming in that actually, you think of Navy and you think of them running the triple option. You hardly ever see them throw it, but when they do, they've got a pretty good receiver out there. Jaden Umbrager. He led last year's team with 16 catches for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. He can cause some problems for some teams, but I think our secondary is definitely a strength this year. So I'm really hoping that's not a problem for us. See Matthew Higginbotham. I'm excited to have an actual QB, and Navy has a new coach. They may run the triple option, but it may be different. And they're using a new QB. A new old QB. I have no idea who's going to line it back there to start with. I don't think anybody does, but they're going to run what they're going to run. It's not going to be a mystery. They're not going to come out and really surprise anybody. This year, they don't have the usual fullback that goes in there and just knock guys' heads off. I mean, they still have the fullback, obviously, they're going to use to lead their running back or their quarterback. His name's Daba Fofana, 5'8", 205-pound fullback. Last year, he had the most rushing yards on the team with 769 yards and 6 TDs. They have Mikael Haywood back there, who we saw last year. He had a big run against App State and a couple others, so he can be a dangerous guy as well. But up front, they're pretty smaller than they usually are, actually, which they're usually small, and they're incredibly small this year. I think our defensive line should be able to push them around pretty easily. John Marshall is gone, so Colin Ramos on the defensive side is going to be their big guy to make plays, their linebacker that kind of leads the defense. So look out for his name, Colin Ramos. They also have Jacob Usick at the edge, who can kind of cause some problems at the edge, but I don't think, again, that our O-line is going to have much problem with him. And then, of course, Donald Bernard, a 256-pound tackle, but again, 256 pounds going up against our 320-pound athletes who can not only block, but can get after it, pull if they need to. I don't see us having a problem moving the ball this game. A lot of experience in the secondary. Ryan Lane. I'm sorry. He's a guy that had a lot of tackles last year from the safety position. Miviti Williams is their best corner, and can play with some of these guys. He's a big kid, so I think he can cause some problems. But I think with a guy like Sam Hartman, it should be dicing him up pretty easily. So that's pretty much the long and short of it for the middies. Always a tough game. You always, like Sean Hagan said, you always want to make sure you're coming out of that game with little to no injuries. God help us, no injuries. I really hope this team, the Irish, come out and just stomp them. Like I said, we have our second stringers in by the third quarter. What are your thoughts, Nate? How do you see this playing out this year?
I think it's going to be close, and then I think in the second half we're going to break away. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just how I see it going. I mean, I've watched Notre Dame for too many years to see, to hope for, a blowout or anything like that. So I'm going to go more conservative and say we win by 21.
Okay.
That's still somewhat a blowout, but
sure.
Nothing crazy.
Bobby Miltenberger, our good buddy, the stadium dude, Chip, says Notre Dame by 40. So if there's no reason on paper that we shouldn't win by 40. But like Nate said, sometimes we have a tendency to let teams hang around. I really, really like I just absolutely love just about everything I've seen coming out of camp. Not just the fall camp, but also the preparation for this game. A lot of intensity, a lot of hitting, a lot of competition, which I think is going to be really one of the key words this year is competition. And some of these guys that are trying to compete for a starting spot or an opportunity to get on the field, I think they're going to be out there to really prove a point. And I think that this team plays a little bit of chip on their shoulder. There's a lot of people that kind of felt like the game against South Carolina was a fluke. They still have the nasty taste of Marshall and Stanford in their mouths, and I think they want to get rid of that, and for good reason, right?
Yep, 100%. I think they also want to show the country in this game, like, hey, we're a real force here. We can hang with these big dogs, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia. And I feel like this game against Navy is a perfect chance to show the country, like, hey, we're on a big stage here. Respect us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Sam is going to stamp his name game one. That's what Bobby Mittenberger said. Jay Lehman commented, excited. Absolutely. Couldn't be more excited, really. It's so refreshing to have a team like this. And I don't know if you guys saw the video, but to tell you what kind of person Sam Hartman is, Under Armour inked him to an NIL deal recently here, I think it was a week or so ago. And Sam made it a point to make sure that all of his teammates, every single one of them, got a new pair of slides and shoes and, hooked them all up. He didn't have to do that. But the guy is clearly a leader, knows what he's doing. This was his sixth fall camp. And you can just tell the way he speaks, the way he carries himself, that he is a leader on the field. He's going to be a leader off the field. And I'm excited to see how he's the field general out there. I'm excited to see how it actually plays out with a very talented group around him offensively and really getting his name out there the first game. See, Sean Hagan, I got a fever and the only prescription is more dose Leprechauns. All right, we'll bring that to you all day long. See, Bobby Miltenberger said, dude is 35 years old. Bobby, if you can, give us an idea of the mentality of the team that you've seen out there. We got Bobby Miltenberger in the comments, but let us know. What's your perspective? How's the team look? They excited? Is it different? Does it feel different? Do you have any concerns? Like, where are you at on that, Bobby? I know you're around the team a lot, so I'd love to get your perspective. Because, like I said, from what we've seen, it's all good. Jason Lynch said that Hartman is still younger than Stetson Bennett. That's true. I think Stetson Bennett was like a 10-year senior. He's like, you guys know, Sean Crawford played at Notre Dame from the time he was like 18 till 35, I think. So Sam Hartman's pushing Sean Crawford's categories. Bobby Miltenberger also chimed in and said, high-flying offense. That's what I want to hear, baby. Wide receivers core is loaded. Biggest concern is young receivers overall. That's what Jay Lehman said. Yeah, there's something to be said for that, Jay. Jaden Greathouse appears to be the real deal. He's getting a lot of balls thrown to him, but you still got a veteran of Chris Tyree out there. I know Chris Salerno is somebody that maybe you don't think of as a guy that flashes on the field, but he makes catches and he makes plays. So you got some experience here that I think will take away from some of the young guys. But the young guys they're different, man. Rico Flores, our guy, Jaden Greathouse, oh my gosh, Braylon James. I mean, it's just a different group of receivers. Obviously, Tobias Merriweather, who is an absolute freak of nature matchup guy. He's got great hands, good speed, and he's got good size. I think the wide receiver position is probably the position I'm most excited to see this year, because you know what you're going to get from Sam Hartman. You know what you're going to get from Audrey Estime. You know our O-line's going to bully people. But what is that wide receiver group going to be able to do to make this team take that next step when it comes to the speed of the teams you mentioned, Nate, Bama, Ohio State, Georgia? Are we going to see that speed be that much different to where now we're not just, we can beat the Navies and the Ball States and all, But no, now we're going to be up there and competitive. We make the playoffs, we're going to be competitive. I think you started to see that a little bit last year against South Carolina. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like past Notre Dame teams, and this isn't a shot at Kelly or anything like that, but past Notre Dame teams probably lose that South Carolina game. I mean, I've seen a lot of Notre Dame teams with just zero heart that would have just given up in that game. But, they had that young core kind of lead them to victory in that game. It was really refreshing to see. And it really gave a good idea of what we're going to see in the future.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. the difference in coaching, obviously, Kelly has the experience, more experience as a head coach than Coach Freeman, but Coach Freeman's got that intangible that you just don't find in coaches nowadays. I mean, he's got such an incredible connection with the team, with the university, the other coaches, the fans. I mean, you're hard pressed to find anybody that doesn't love Coach Freeman. You get the naysayers out there. Oh, it's too soon. They made the wrong choice. This and that. I think that they made the best possible choice they could for where we were at in that situation. And I think that Coach Freeman's going to establish himself as one of the best up and coming coaches in the country this year, because he's got guys around him that know what they're doing. Al Golden is a former Division I college football coach. Say what you want about him. He knows the game. You know, Chancey Stuckey, the wide receivers coach, is going to be an offensive coordinator one day. McCullough, the running back coach, is going to be an offensive coordinator one day. And you know, you bring in a guy, Gino, quarterback coach, Gadelli, who now is going to focus just on the quarterbacks. And we already have a quarterback that's almost like a coach in there anyway. So I think Freeman's doing the right things, and I can't wait to see his second year as the head man. See, Bobby said Rico is so smooth. Yeah, man. Shout out to Rico Flores and our boy Shiska Bradford. We are pumped to see Rico this year on the field when it counts. Bobby also said secondary is locked down. Yeah, I've heard some really exciting things about that secondary. It's gonna be a fun group to watch. Jim Spain can't wait for the season to start. Bobby said haven't had a 1-2 like this since Shane Walton and Vontez Duff. That's a big statement, Bobby, but I think you're right in that with Cam Hart and Benjamin Morrison, Jaden Mickey, Xavier Watts. Our secondary is nasty, and when you watch some of the practice footage and you hear what's going on, you hear a lot of competition from the first ones, from the first offense and the first defense going at it. I love it, man. Now they're going to finally be able to take out their rage and their excitement, their energy on another opponent, and actually try to get a win out of it. So good things ahead, baby. So yeah, Navy, always a tough matchup. I really am excited about the pomp and circumstance going into this game. The new look jerseys for this game, strictly for Ireland. Those are the kind of things, in my opinion, that really do excite the players. You saw when they revealed the jersey. Chris Bassick, who's the best equipment guy in the game, unleashed those suckers, and you saw the athletes get really excited about that. So, we're back to Under Armour again. I know some people are upset. I'm not thrilled about it, but it seems like they do some things that still keep those kids excited. How many yards does Navy's fullback get? I'm gonna say he's gonna rush for at least 100 yards. I think they're gonna be very run heavy this year. I just don't see them really testing our secondary. So I'm gonna say over 100 yards, somewhere in like the 110, 115 range. Because as you know, with that Navy offense, you just hand it off to the fullback or keep it. And I think they're gonna have to hand it off a lot because our defensive ends are not gonna allow the Navy quarterbacks to get the edge. Thoughts, Nate? How many yards you got the fullback getting from Navy?
I think I'm going to go under 100.
Okay.
I think they'll get 90 to 80, 70, 75, something like that. Somewhere in that ballpark.
Jason Lynch agrees with you. He thinks he's only going to get 86 yards tops. And Sean Hagan said they're going to have to be throwing the ball by halftime. Let's see. Navy should shock the world and come out 5 wide.
Oh, they shouldn't.
Oh, my gosh. If Navy came out 5 wide to start the game off, I would think that we're in a parallel universe, because you just don't see that anymore, especially with the athletes that we have in the secondary. I don't think that would go real well for them. But who knows? Stranger things can happen. Navy has nothing to lose, and that's probably the scariest thing. I mean, they're getting a free trip to Ireland. They're getting to be involved in some of the pomp and circumstance. So they've got nothing to lose. They're going to go out there and play hard. And I absolutely love Navy football 364 days out of the year. The only day I don't is when they play the Irish, 1 game a year. But other than that, I'm always rooting for these guys and gals. Well, not the gals on the field. I'm always rooting for Navy. They're defending our country. They're out there. As soon as their career's over in football, they're going and keeping our country safe. So mad props to Navy and all the athletes that play there. I hope they have a great season right after we beat their butts in a few days, in 6 days. Let's see. We've got a few more minutes left. So, again, let's hear your traditions. If you're just jumping on, we're talking about traditions and what you do before the games. Maybe what you do if you're a resident of South Bend, maybe you go to every game. Maybe you have something that you do around the area. Is there a certain restaurant you go to? We posted a while back of what are the places to make sure you got to eat at when you're in South Bend for a game. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that we've really visited too many restaurants since we've been out there, because when we get on campus, I don't ever want to leave the campus. It's such a beautiful place, probably the only place in the world that I feel like at home and truly able to relax and really enjoy. So, I think we've probably gone to a total of like 4 restaurants, Nate? If that.
Probably under that.
Yeah. So if you have a favorite restaurant, drop that in here too. Let's give them some love. Want to once again give a shout out to Dan, the tailgate man, Dan Morrow, who's going to be our tailgate host once again this year. So if you guys are in South Bend for a game, Nate and I will be at Ohio State and Boston College. I'm sorry, Ohio State and Wake Forest. But we will have a tailgate at all the games, thanks to Dan, the tailgate man, for hooking us up with. Have a canopy out there, so you'll be able to find us. Come and say hi, bring something to share, and we'd love to see you guys out there. Love to see everybody out there. What game are you guys going to? Let's see, Matthew Rose said Daniel Morrow is the man. Absolutely. Rick said, Jason, this year our indie club is going to Morgantown, West Virginia, to be with our club members from that area and have a game watch. That's awesome, man. Patrick McCormick, Fiddler's Hearth and Irish Pub in downtown South Bend is legit. Love that place. I will definitely add that to the list. This year, I think when we come out for Wake Forest, we're going to be trying to hang out a little bit more, visit some of those spots, because it's sometimes you get hungry. So you got to remember to eat. Nate, what is your favorite pregame tradition while at Notre Dame on campus?
That's a fantastic question. I think I'm gonna go probably the player walk. I always seem to enjoy that because it's kind of like the whole fans hype in one place, trying to get the guys hyped up one last time before they go out to battle.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a great one. I'm gonna have to go probably either Trumpets Under the Dome, or I guess Trumpets by the Dome now. Hopefully they go back under the dome, man. I would love that. Trumpets Under the Dome or the Drum Circle. If you've never been to the Midnight Drum Circle, that is just one of the coolest experiences in all of college football and all of sports, really. A couple hundred people out there cheering on the drummers as they lead us in some songs and some dance and some party. It's freaking amazing. Jason Lynch said game day locker room tour. Yeah, only a certain few are able to experience that, Lynch, so we're pretty lucky. My wife and I are going to the Pit game. Beautiful, Matt. I love the Midnight Drumline you guys told me about and showed me. That's from Jared Underwood. Yeah, man. Nothing like the Midnight Drum Circle. Player walk is a must. Taking a picture in front of Touchdown Jesus. The band's entering the stadium. If you ever have a chance to go to a game, and you can go over to the end zone, the tunnel where the Irish band comes in, is such a cool experience to see. Good friend who's actually on this chat was able to get me into the tunnel before one of the games, and I got to be right by the band as they were playing, as they were getting everybody fired up to go in. It was mind-blowing. It was really cool. Before we go any further, and before we start to wrap this thing up, I want to give a shout-out to our sponsor, Big Time Advertising and Marketing. A partnership dealers deserve. Check out Big Time Advertising and Marketing at gowithbigtime.com. We'll put that info in the comment section here, but Big Time Advertising and Marketing is a big reason why we've been able to provide this tailgate this year, thanks to some of their contributions. So big shout out to Terry McCauley and his crew over at Big Time Advertising and Marketing. Once again, that's gowithbigtime.com. Check them out. We'll leave the website in the comments. See, Rick also said Jason, Scott, and I will be at the Ohio State, FUSC, and Pitt games. For the Ohio State game, our club is having a tailgate, and you and Nate are invited. Hey, Rick, let's talk about that. Maybe we can combine and make it a mega tailgate, because I know Dan, the tailgate man, is hosting the tailgates in the stadium lot. So maybe we can get by each other and make it a mega one. We'll see. The FUSC game, that's a game that's definitely on my bucket list. I would love to be able to go to the SC game in South Bend one time. I've been to the SC game at that dump in LA. I think last year was my 11th time, eighth time was my, and I'm like 3-5 there. It doesn't usually go well. So I would love to see us take care of business in South Bend, and especially Caleb Williams, man. We're gonna in the next couple shows, we're gonna do a show specifically on our least favorite opponents of all time as Notre Dame fans, and Caleb Williams is going to be near the top. That guy is just a little punk, and I really hope he does. I hope he does do the fingernail paint again for us, because if he does, he's Maris FL, Gabe Rubio, Shady Bertrand, others are going to smash him. Jalen Sneed, they're going to smash him. I can't wait to see it. So go ahead and try that again, bud. Next episode, we're going to have a guest on. Still working on finalizing that. So as we get into the season and start doing our Sunday podcasts, we want to have some guests on. Usually it's going to be a former player. And then for the Ohio State week, we have a good friend who's helping us out with a possible interview opportunity with a former athlete that I think you guys will really like. It'll be a really unique setting. So look for all of our updates throughout the year. It's a big year. Dexter Williams. Sean Hagan just put Dexter Williams.
Nothing wrong
we
with
love Dex. Dex is the man. I really hope one day he comes back and contributes somehow to South Bend, to Notre Dame. Dex is awesome. Dex, Tavon Coney, those are our guys. That whole group there is awesome. That said, again, stay tuned for updates on what we got going on. There's a lot going on. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and please follow us on YouTube and encourage others to do the same. We're really trying to grow that audience. We're also on TikTok. Our TikTok audience is actually growing pretty big. Why are you laughing, Nate?
I just think it's funny, a grown man on TikTok.
Hey, I'm trying to grow the business, bro. I'm trying to grow the
grown
brand.
man. A grown man.
I'm a grown man outside. I'm a child inside. Matthew Rose said,
that.
"Will we be going live after the games?" Absolutely, yeah. We like to do that kind of instant reaction, good or bad. Last year, I'll never forget, man. It was really cool to after the Brian Kelly news broke. We actually were one of the, and I'm not trying to whatever, but we were one of the first to really, really, truly break that, because there was so much speculation. There was so much speculation on what was going to be happening. Come here, buddy. We got a special guest in the studio. Come here, bud. Say hi. Just say hi. Say hi. That's Christian, our biggest supporter. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna lost my train of thought. Yeah, we're trying to grown man on the outside, little kid on the inside. TikTok, check us out. We're gonna put some of our gear on there, and you'll be able to purchase that from our store. If you haven't checked out our store, please check it out. whammyswag.com/DosLeprechauns. Check out a couple of shirts and hats, whatever you want to grab. We're reasonably priced. Everything that we sell or anything like that goes directly back into the show or the podcast. Or here's a plug that I almost forgot, which I can't believe I did. But if you're a season ticket holder, or if you're somebody that gets tickets given to you all the time, let us know if you have 2 tickets that you would like to donate. We like to try to send a veteran and one of their guests out to a game each year. Last year we were able to do it on 3 different occasions, which was really special to us. Veterans mean everything to us. We really appreciate everything they've done for us. So we're trying to do something nice for them. We've already had a couple of people reach out and say that they're interested in helping us out, and we've probably had 50 people reach out as veterans and say they'd like to be considered. The protocol on that, the requirements, I guess, are you have to be able to get travel to the game, because unfortunately we're not able to provide that, but we do provide the game tickets. We'd like to always try to send somebody out there that's never been to a game in South Bend. And then obviously if they're able to they have to be able to make the actual day of the game. So again, if you have extra tickets, you have season tickets, you can't go, and you want to give them to a good cause. I know there's vet ticks and stuff like that out there that people can use, but this is just a little bit more organic, that we just want to make it like a real special opportunity, kind of follow that person's trip. So let us know if you'd like to be a part of that. You can message us, call us, text us, whatever. But yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody out there in South Bend. If you're going to be out at the Stanford game, we will also have a tailgate there in Palo Alto. It's going to be an epic one because it's the last time we're playing in Palo Alto in quite some time. So yeah, it's going to be good. Nate, Jason Lynch said, Nate just hates because our grown man content is better than his. That sounds like a battle on TikTok to me, Nate.
I don't want to make any content on TikTok. I can't
right,
dance.
fair
I
enough.
can't dance.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us and participating. Share the podcast. Share everything we put out. We'd appreciate the love. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support. 6 days till Notre Dame football. We'll see you in 6 days after hopefully a huge victory over Navy. Go Irish.